How you guys doing? This is my pilot review for the TV show Desmond's. It's on my Netflix list, but this is actually a UK show from back in the day. Believe it. The first season came out in 1994, but it's actually set. This pilot episode is set in 1989 in South London in Peckham, where I grew up. So obviously there was a certain level of investment in always watching this show. I Going into it, I didn't know what to expect. So when I started to watch it, and I realized, oh, it was quite funny. I don't know why. I think I assumed it was gonna be like a mix of serious or like a over dramatic type of thing, like a EastEnders, which for people who aren't from the UK, that's a famous soap opera in the UK. Uh, what's the equivalent? Whatever equivalent of like a over dramatic, very like hyper serious drama. That's what I thought Desmond's was gonna be. But it was quite funny. It did have its serious moments, which I liked about this show. Um, One of the biggest likes for me was the references. So someone mentioned Peckham Civic Centre, which I've walked past for years. Also, King's College Hospital. Someone mentioned it came out. I laughed hard. Someone was talking about, oh, don't you want to go back to your roots where you're from? Because this show is centered around a British Guyanese family. It has like a lot of Caribbean roots, a lot of like Black British culture infused in it. You can tell. And someone made a joke that, don't you want to go back to your roots where you're from, to some second generation kid. He said, yeah, I see my roots all the time. I see where I was born all the time. I drive past it. It's King's College Hospital, Camberwell, Peckham. I laughed hard. I was like, the funny thing is, I was born in the exact same place. So, apart from just the fact that it seemed random, I loved the reference. And then also, what was another reference? Someone mentioned, I forget, someone mentioned something. Oh, it's lapsed my mind. But I love how already you feel like invested in the community and what they're doing. The Shirley, who's the mum in the family, she might be my favorite character at this moment in time. Desmond's is cool, but he seems like a guy who, the main character, he just seems like a guy who is like, I don't know, maybe he's a bit bitter about his life. They imply that he had dreams when he came to the country and he became bitter about it. Understandably so, but as a main character, it deliberately makes me like, this is clearly like the show is meant to be through his eyes, but he's not necessarily the person to pay attention to when you're driving. Do you know what I mean? Just because he's in the driving seat doesn't mean that's the person you're looking at when you're driving. And I felt with the mom, in comparison, Shirley, that's her name, she connected a certain type of way with the kids straight off the bat. I didn't feel like one of those. It might be a cultural thing, because I've seen different shows where the mom can sometimes seem like they're trying too hard, or the parents can seem trying too hard to close that generational gap and seem cool, or they can go the opposite direction where they completely seem like uninvested in the people around them, which I wouldn't even mind if they were interesting characters, but I don't know, it depends on the sitcom or the show that you're watching. This didn't feel like that. It felt quite natural to me. She has like the Shirley, she has a certain type of snarky humor that I love as well. That didn't feel, apart from like one or two occasions, didn't feel completely rehearsed, which I like about the show. And then lastly, what else did I like about the show? I think that's it for the likes. Yeah, the mom, the references, and then I love like the how invested I was in, even though it shows like just certain sets and certain scenes. It felt like a community and certain close knit circles that you could vibe to. Here's my flaw in this episode. I'm guessing it's only the first episode, so I'm guessing they're gonna show more and more. But I really feel like if this is the place that is supposed to be a barbershop and a social hub for this family and this community and their circles, then you should have people talking talking shit whilst getting their haircut. I didn't see no one in that barbershop apart from one or two people, and they were having tea and reading. I'd rather someone do that whilst some people get their haircut and whilst they're talking all types, and then you see that conversation going back and forth, different ages, different backgrounds, because you had a little bit sprinkle of that. For example, there's a scene where um, there's a friend that they have in the shop who's African. They are black, Afro Caribbean, or Guyana. I think is Guyana in the Caribbean. I think it's South America actually, but it has a is associated with that culture. I believe. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, obviously Guyanese, British Guyanese people, British African people, and not a clash in a bad way, but a clash like they're talking about the differences and the similarities, and they could have explored that more just with a simple scene of people just talking amongst themselves whilst getting a haircut, different ages, slightly different backgrounds, but all like a just to show that there's different perspectives. No community is a monolith, right? And I would have really liked that because you can tell this show is from the perspective of the black Brit, but it's not trying to be for every black Brit. There's different people who think different ways because we're human. We all think differently, and I think it could have done a bit more in that respect. So that's probably a big flaw of the show. You need people in the barbershop to get a haircut. Also, I just don't take it seriously that you have this business and there's barely customers in that business. I didn't see no one. I don't like that. Don't do that. But apart from that, I liked this show for the most part. I'm gonna watch more. I definitely recommend if this is Netflix UK, so I have no idea if this is available elsewhere. I don't know how people can maybe get like a VPN, a UK VPN, and go to certain websites where they can access it. But I definitely recommend you guys watch it if you can access it. Desmond's good show in my opinion, based on this first episode. I'm gonna watch more. Tell me your thoughts down below. If you've seen the show, do you like it? If you haven't, would you watch it based on this review? Press that thumbs up button if you like this video. Subscribe for more. Come on guys, you can do it. It's right there. Just press the subscribe button. Other than that, I'm out. Signing off. Salute.